If he is indeed elected as president, then he doesn't have the numbers in the National Assembly to push some of these promises that he's making to Nigeria, which can only be effected by legislature.
Obi is a man that is already used to providing democratically engineered disruptive change. When he was the governor of Anambra State, he had no member of the House of Assembly, none. But he was able to get everything he wanted approved by the House of Assembly. He was able to get everything he wanted in Anambra State. And within 4 years, he became the #1 in the whole Nigeria in all indices of measurement. In MDG goals, he was scored #1 by UNDP. In the poverty rate, he was scored #1 by the DG of NAPEP, the Poverty Alleviation Program, by PDP. In the network of roads, he was scored #1. He built 800 kilometers of roads. In the debt management strategy, he was scored #1 by DMO. And in every other indices, yet he did not have one member of the House of Assembly when he came in as governor. This is what Obasanjo would describe as track record of ability and performance. What you need to be in control is not having members in the National Assembly, as pleasant and as important as it may be. What you need is political will. What you need is strong institutions. In America, independent candidates had become president in America, but they went in and delivered on the job. Obi is going to provide leadership. He is offering a new brand of leadership that is less transactional, that is efficient and effective, that is responsive and responsible. Do you know he was impeached by the House of Assembly, wielding their tyranny of majority? What happened? He went to court, and the court said, no, you cannot vilify a politician because you have majority in the House. There must be a proof of misconduct. And since there is no misconduct by this great politician, you must let him be. And he went back to his state. Obi has committed himself that he will never be corrupt. Indeed, he is incorruptible. So no National Assembly, even if he does not have one person, can move against him because he has to misconduct himself first. If he has not misconducted himself in Anambra State for 8 years, not even taking the land that he is entitled to or pension that he is entitled to, how can he misconduct himself when he becomes the president? There is a proverb in my place: you don't learn to be left-handed in your old age. Obi is coming. He is going to have members in the National Assembly, but what we are interested in is a new Nigeria.
All right.
And by the executive power, political will, institutional strength, which he's going to engender, he's going to provide the leadership and the standard, which Obasanjo said that we have not experienced something like that, and it will not be deleted from Nigerians' history, the kind of standard he's going to, implement in Nigeria. And Peter Obi is not the man who in emergency yields to pressure. He will still be committed to the capacity, the competence, and the character of each and every person. And he would prefer that a seat is vacant rather than fielding an incompetent or people who are not of character. Because when you want to bring a new thing, you must not succumb to the blackmail of the opposition to, in your haste, begin to come against the particular thing you want to preach against. So we are prepared to do the right thing at all times.
All right, so Mr. Okonkwo, let's talk about corruption. Mr. Peter Obi, your presidential candidate, talking about corruption, he also said he was going to eliminate fuel subsidy. I
would surprise you by saying the issue of tackling corruption is the easiest thing to be done in Nigeria. And the reason is simple. Like my principal said, it's the state officials that are stealing oil. So when you get into office and you employ people who are not corrupt like yourself, you have ended completely oil theft. Oil theft is not something you pilfer. It's not a liquid you can't put it in your pocket. A ship cannot be hidden before a ship moves into our territorial waters. And I'm telling you, as a lawyer to some oil magnates, before a ship enters our territorial water, if you know what it takes a ship, you will know that security agencies, government officials must be complicit before a ship can enter our territorial water. Do you know, shamefully, for any barrel of oil that Nigeria sells, 51 barrels are stolen and sold illegally. How do I know that? 51 pipes were illegally projected into the major pipe that carries the legal oil for us to export. And each one takes as much oil as the major pipe. And this has been existing for 9 years, telling you that corruption has become systemic. It was only when my principal voiced out that it is the state officials that are stealing oil, that's when they started making the discovery. The discovery has been there, but the lack of political will, and because the state officials are the thieves here, it is impossible to fight. So the first strategy that my principal is going to adopt is that he himself is not going to be corrupt. And if he is not corrupt, who is he that is working for him that will be corrupt? So we need these 3 C's. And my principal has them in excess. When you talk about competence, hey, he was educated in University of Nigeria. He was educated in London School of Economics. He was educated in Oxford University. He was educated in Kellogg Graduate University. He was educated in Columbia University. He was educated in Massachusetts, Boston, Harvard University. All the best universities in the world. That is capacity. When he climbs the staircase, he jumps it, telling you his feet as fiddle. Not just that he's going to be a leader. He's going to supervise the people that are working under him. That is why it is dangerous to elect a president who cannot even come for a national debate because he's impaired in his reasoning and he has lost his memory, his abilities, his experiences. He has lost all of them. And I'm talking specifically about Bola Tinubu, who is suffering from dementia and amnesia. No, it's dangerous to bring such a person on the position of leadership. And I am talking about Atiku Abubakar, who is now an octogenarian, who cannot climb staircase. And that is why we are saying that P2B is the only option, not just an alternative option. When you talk about corruption, I've talked about the capacity, the competence, and then the character. P2B, I can tell you one thing. One of his aides met me when they were talking about corruption. He said, I am the one who took the parcel of land to His Excellency P2B. I personally. And I was shocked when he replied. And he said it was not to corrupt him. It was his entitlement. Just like in Abuja, everybody is entitled to a plot of land. As a governor, he's entitled pension, plot of land. But he rejected all of them in order to prove to the world that he came to serve, not for what he will receive, but what he will give. So he's going to tackle corruption. Why? He's going to reduce cost of governance. He's going to ensure the entrenchment of rule of law. He's going to establish an honest and efficient civil service. He is going to live by example. So the structure of corruption, what did you hear about Obasanjo when he talked about Atiku? He said this is a man that has propensity to corruption, tendency to disloyalty. He's a man that is unable to say and stick to the truth at all times. He's a man that has poor judgment, a man that lacks transparency, a man who believes in marabout, a man who
Mr. Okonkwo,
believes in money to pay his way out in all the things he's doing. He has the readiness to compromise morality, integrity, propriety, truth, national interest for self and selfish interest. Corruption personified. He has corrupted the older generation. He advised Obasanjo against open corruption, but encouraged
Kenneth, let's ask the question so that we can move very quickly.
He has infected the next generation with special purpose vehicle of corruption.
You did mention that Atiku cannot climb stairs. Do you want to take that back, knowing that you've seen the man climb stairs several times, and say that was a slip of tongue?
Oh.
You know that he has climbed stairs before.
I've also seen Tinubu climb stairs.
So
and
you cannot say.
Imagine the climbing of the stairs.
So are you saying that you know?
I'm not talking about being lifted like forklift. I'm saying let him come and jump the staircase like my principal. I'm not talking about being able to lift your leg.
Okay,
no,
then
we're
telling me
fitness.
Okay,
I'm
well,
talking about the ability to do pam, 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 pam. Let him come and do it.
All right. Okay. The fact is, he can climb stairs.
They will help you.
But don't let us dwell on that. Don't let us dwell on that. The fact is, the man can climb stairs.
I'm talking about pa. Climbing,
all right.
pa.
Very quick. In terms of the state of Nigerian economy, the level of debt that Nigeria is trying to service is so much that it can be described as unprecedented level of debt that Nigeria is owing. Your principal, Peter Obi, how do you think he's going to maneuver and walk through that process where we can say we have money to run the services and to develop the economy of Nigeria in a situation where we're owing so much and servicing debts has taken over a very high percentage of how we use our revenue? Where's the money going to come from?
First of all, when Obi became the governor of Anambra State, he inherited debts from his predecessors. Gigantuan. But you know what Atiku said about Obi when they were telling him about debts? He said, thank goodness Obi is with me and he's good in managing debts. It's there in his Twitter handle. So the issue here is that we have a man who is prudent, who has been prudent and who will be prudent. So Obi inherited debts in Anambra State, but left them with 75 billion naira and left them with $150 million, not owing any contractor, not owing any, no pensioner was owed, nobody was owed. Go and verify. So what does it take? Nigeria has money, we have materials, we have men. What is lacking is the ability to combine, to utilize and allocate our resources in the right way through planning, organizing, directing, and controlling so that our national objectives will be achieved. This is what is lacking. Obi is going to cut our debt in 50% immediately he comes in. Why? Like I said, cost of governance. You can see how much people are budgeting for feeding alone. You can see how much they are budgeting for healthcare in Nigeria. You can see how much they are budgeting for education. Right. None is seen. Okay. Why? The contracts are inflated by more than 50%. So when he comes in and there is no inflation of contract, you saw that one of the reasons why he was impeached was that what was to cost 400 and something million in Anambra to build, he built it at 120 something million.
Okay, Mr. Okonkwo.
And that was one of the reasons he was impeached.
Mr. Okonkwo, we need to go. Look at
how much he has saved.
Yes.
So by the time he removes corruption from the system, he would have gained 50% of the revenue he needs.
All right.
Now,
Mr. Okonkwo, we need to wrap up. We need to wrap up, but just very quickly, one statement.
I thought we're just starting.
No, we're done. One statement, and it's important to just mention that your principal did say that debt wasn't the problem. It was what the debt was going to be used for. As in other crimes, he cited the UK, he cited and some other nations like that, and the United States of America, that we use our debts to service consumption, whereas he would use it for infrastructural development. Just to mention that in terms of inheriting or not inheriting debt.
2027, regardless of what Tinubu or the APC might want or plan, the 2027 election will be free and fair. Not because of APC, not because of Tinubu, not because of INEC, not because of judiciary, not because of security agencies, but because of a parallel vote tabulation platform. Vote Watch, working with volunteers as polling unit marshals across all the polling units in Nigeria. With Vote Watch and polling unit marshal, we tie the hands of INEC, the hands of Tinubu, the hands of APC, the hands of security agencies, the hands of the judiciary. We tie their hands and we make rigging impossible, regardless of who wants to rig. With Vote Watch, we will get real-time electronic transmission of polling unit results directly from the polling unit in real time. With VoteWatch, we get something even better than real-time transmission. We will get real-time collation, meaning as the results are coming from the polling unit, we are seeing the tally automatically. If election finish by 3 o'clock and they process the results, they count, they fill in the form EC8A, the party agents sign, the police and security agencies sign. Once that form EC8A is processed, at that moment, as INEC is using their beavers to snap the form EC8A to upload to IREV, our PU marshals, as polling unit voters, which is allowed, are using their phone to take a picture of the same form EC8A to upload to the VoteWatch platform. But there's something even better that VoteWatch can do that IREV cannot do. IREV does not collate, but VoteWatch collates. And it doesn't just only collate, it collates in real time. So you see that collation gap where they will take the results, the original from EC8A, from the polling unit, and now go to the registration area, the ward, to go and do collation. That is where the abracadabra starts. So that's where party votes either become fat or lean overnight. No longer will be possible to do such rigging in the collation gap, starting from either the ward, the local government, the state, up to the national, if we have the result already from the polling unit on the VoteWatch app, there for the whole world to see. You see, this is a very wonderful solution. It's called parallel vote tabulation. It is allowed. It's very legal. We are not replacing INEC. We are not declaring winners. It is well within our rights as voters to monitor our vote after we vote and to report our votes. What we are doing is what political parties are supposed to be doing in their situation room. But for some strange reasons, they don't think to do it, and they don't do it robustly enough. So we, the people, we use our people power. We use our office, the highest office in the land, the office of the citizen, to come up and drive this solution by ourselves. That's what we're doing with VoteWatch. So that 2027 will be a reflection of the wills and desires and aspirations of the people. There is a rise in Godfatherism. Wike and Tinubu have taken Godfatherism to a great height. It is now Baba Sokwe crazy. Baba Sokwe politics. Baba talk say, you heard what Desmond Elliot said, that when they gave him the impeachment notice to sign, he thought it was from Tinubu. Baba Sokwe, Baba talk say, not what a full-grown man who is a legislator, not what he thinks, but what he thinks the Godfather wants. And you see how he started trying to beg for the forgiveness of his Godfather, because he feels that it's only the Godfather that can bring him back to the State House of Assembly. And unfortunately, as it is right now, it's only the Godfather. They have kicked him out. That is a dangerous trend of Godfatherism in Nigeria that we must tackle. Many of you are mocking him, saying, oh, is it? Yes, mock him. Whatever he got, he deserved. But on the flip side, what damage is Godfatherism doing to Nigeria? So long as politicians like Fubara, politicians like Desmond Elliot, politicians like Ben Ayade, so long as these politicians see or even think that the only way they get back into office is by the support of Godfathers, Nigeria is dead and buried. Things will never get better. Because when they get into office, their only loyalty will be to the Godfathers. If we want them to be loyal, if we want our leaders to be loyal to the people, then we must make sure that it is the people that bring them into office. That is why I cannot emphasize the importance of Vote Watch enough. The link is in the description of this video. www.votewatch.pro. Simple. You can use any browser, Chrome browser, Phoenix browser, Safari browser, on your phone, your desktop, your laptop. You can use it. Just type in www.votewatch.pro into the address bar. Click enter to take you to the platform. There you will see the overview. But then you will see another button where it says sign up to be able to become a PU Marshal. Click that sign up button. It will take you to the registration page. Enter your name, enter your email, enter your state, enter your local government. In the place for ward and for polling unit, click any available one. Don't worry. All the other things in the background we will fine-tune to put you in the right polling unit as a PU Marshal. Remember, there are going to be 3 PU Marshals per polling unit. And none of the 3 polling unit Marshals will know who the other 2 polling unit Marshals are for that polling unit. We are doing this because we know that some polling unit Marshal can be compromised. And we are doing this to make sure that none of them are compromised. We are not using information from one polling unit. We are using from multiple. And the reason for this is simple. We have seen where coalition agents of political parties are compromised on election day. And we have built a safeguard into the Vote Watch platform to prevent and guard against this. So once you enter all of those details, click sign up, you sign in, and then you'll be able to be a PU Marshal once we approve your request. It's as simple as that. Who would have thought that a solution to stop rigging of election in Nigeria would be this simple? It will be this safe because you work in ghost mode, in stealth mode. Nobody will know what you're doing, but yet you are doing so much that nobody can rig. So if you're in Nigeria that loves Nigeria, you want Nigeria to change, please check the description. There's a link in there. If you're a Nigerian that already is benefiting from this in very good way, I am not going to advise you to change the system. I know you won't want to reform yourself out of power. So this message is not for you. It is for you. If in all this abundance you are living in squalor, no jobs, high cost of living, insecurity, poor roads infrastructure, poor health care, poor education, weak naira, so much corruption. If we want a better Nigeria, then you will subscribe to this. If you want credible leaders to come out, then you will subscribe to this. This is actually very, very, very important. God bless you as you subscribe, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.